Good. So your question is, if a business is having goodwill, then there will not be any amortization. That's a very good question, and all of you please pay attention. If I give the balance sheet of Coke, Pepsi, Adidas, Nike, Microsoft, Google, and so many companies, if I give you balance sheet of all these so highly famous companies, you will be shocked to know that all these companies who are so famous, but in the balance sheet of all these companies, on account of goodwill, there is not even a $1. What does it mean? Does it mean Pepsi has no goodwill? Does it mean Nike has got no goodwill? Does it mean Coke has got no goodwill? Does it mean Microsoft has got no goodwill? Does it mean all these companies have no goodwill? Of course they have a goodwill. Of course they have a goodwill. They have a brand name. They have a reputation. But the question is, if they have goodwill, then why it is not appearing in the balance sheet of these companies? And that is because, friends, please remember, what is shown in the balance sheet of a company is not the goodwill that you create by yourself with the passage of time. The goodwill that will appear in the balance sheet of a company only when you have paid for that goodwill. So, if you have built goodwill for yourself with the passage of time, doesn't really matters to how famous or how big company you are, you will not have a single dollar in the balance sheet of a company on account of goodwill. But if you have purchased another company, and while purchasing that company, you have paid more amount than the fair value of tangible assets and the intangible asset that you have got from that company, the difference will appear in the balance sheet of yours as goodwill. And this goodwill that would appear in the balance sheet of your company, you will need to test it on every balance sheet date and decide as to whether the benefit of this goodwill are still accruing to you or they are not accruing to you. So if you come to a answer that this goodwill that I have paid for is giving me benefit still, you would continue to show that goodwill in the balance sheet of the company. If you come to the conclusion the goodwill, that amount that I paid for the goodwill, it's not giving me any benefit, then you will simply write it off. So this is how is the goodwill, and this is how the accounting treatment will be done for the goodwill. I hope this answers your query again, Ajay.